Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are on our way to our first video of the day. We are in Grand Forks, North Dakota. We're heading east. It's 8:30 in the morning.
Welcome to Minnesota. In a quarter mile, turn left onto Minnesota 220 North Central Avenue Northwest. Take the next left onto Minnesota 220 North, Central Avenue North.
When I make this swing, I want everybody to see
In a quarter mile, turn left onto 17th Street Northwest.
a little detail. My friend interrupted me again. Gotta learn not to do commentary while the GPS is yammering away.
Take the next left onto 17th Street Northwest.
That sucker came up fast.
In 1,000 feet, your destination will be on the right.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is where the story begins. On the right here is the apartment complex where Timothy Homseth stayed.
Your destination is on the right.
Now, we go down here to 320, 318, 320, 1 through 17. Okay. Now, I don't know yet if anybody is living in apartment 17, but this is where Tim Homseth, lady got her son. Now, this is where Tim Homseth used to live. I'm not going to go bother the people that used to live here, but okay. Now, this is one of a number of Domino's pizzas in the area. This may or may not be where Tim Homseth used to work. They're not open for another hour, so I can't find out. Not that it really matters, because he doesn't work there anymore. So, what is it that I'm going to be doing today? Well, I am going to go and I'm going to have a little chat with somebody. So, bear with me while I pull out of here.
Take the next left onto Central Avenue.
My girlfriend's talking again.
In a quarter mile, turn right onto 5th Avenue Northeast. Merge onto US 2 West, then turn left onto Central Avenue Northwest.
Alright, I gotta get out of here first, lady.
Take the next left onto Central Avenue Northwest, Old Highway 220. In 600 feet, turn left onto 10th Street Northeast. Turn left onto 10th Street Northeast.
Boy, this is a...
In a quarter mile, turn right onto 5th Avenue Northeast.
Second. This is not the way I originally took downtown, but I decided to let her give me directions. Sometimes GPS is not the fastest way to get somewhere.
Take the next right onto 5th Avenue Northeast. In a quarter mile.
Okay, everybody, at this point I had a little bit of technical difficulty. The video I made going from the apartment complex to the Domino's restaurant has either been lost or I'm unable to locate it in time to do the editing tonight. So what I did is I basically did some rearranging in post-production. I also did not record anything down at the police station. I didn't record any interview with Detective Rod simply because the phone went dead, and you know, being in the police headquarters, I didn't have access to power to turn the phone back on again. Also, I had learned today that there is brand new information regarding Mr. Holmseth and his connection to East Grand Forks. This has caused me to change my itinerary. I had planned on spending more time in East Grand Forks before going back to Minneapolis, but this new development has caused me to change my plans, and with a brief stop at the county courthouse to get a fresh copy of the warrant for Mr. Holmseth's arrest, and to make certain that the warrant is still in effect, I have decided to go straight down to the Minneapolis East Grand Forks area. And the reason for doing this is going to become quite apparent in the morning. This is something that I have been researching on, and the last piece of the puzzle was filled in tonight, the night of this video, I should say. And so I have decided to engage in a little bit of a project. This requires me to go back to Elk River earlier than I anticipated. So I'm going to continue with some more road footage, and we continue on with the rest of today's events. Okay, I have finished up my business with the East Grand Forks, Minnesota Police Department, and now I am on my way down to Crookston, Minnesota, to visit the courthouse where Timmy's troubles seem to have started. Now, depending on my schedule and events that are transpiring at this very moment,
in a quarter mile, turn right onto US 2 East.
Well, she's giving me directions again. Anyway, there are events that are transpiring at this very moment, which may prove to be interesting. But rather than let the cat out of the bag, I'm just going to continue with things, and we shall go from there. As this now has developed into a rather fluid situation. I guess we could start calling this as
Take the next right onto US 2 East.
Guess we could call this as it happened.
Continue on US 2 East for 26 miles.
Now the courthouse for this county is a half hour or so from here. Telling me it's going to take 27 minutes to get down there. Which is, I suppose, about correct. So I'm going to cut the video off here in just a minute, and I'll pick the video up once we get close to town. That way, there's no point in having you watch a half-hour long drive through what is relatively flat and boring country. But this is basically the main drag between here and Crookston, Minnesota. Alright, everybody, we are 5 miles from Crookston, Minnesota, and we're going to pay a brief visit to Crookston, and then we will move on to the next portion of our tale. Now, one thing to note about this part of Minnesota is it's as flat as a board. There's not many hills. Really not much of anything except corn. All over the place. Corn. not put a specific destination in Crookston on my GPS quite yet. Mainly because I want to get the lay of the land, so to speak. But this is it, folks. This is the big metropolis of Crookston. I forgot to check to see how many people live here. And it's probably not a whole hell of a lot. I mean, they do have a decent hotel here. They have a Walmart. The usual stuff. They have a McDonald's. I wonder if they got Wi-Fi. One thing you learn when you travel the United States for as long as I have is that the more things change, the more they stay the same. Every town in the United States has a core pattern. Important places are normally located in the downtown area or close to it. This goes for government buildings. Your city hall is usually close to the downtown. Your county courthouse in what they normally call a county seat is in downtown. And it makes it relatively easy to find. A lot of times you don't even need a GPS. You just find it. Now the GPS has got me coming into probably the downtown center. Did the same thing to me in East Grand Forks the first time. The second time it brought me over to the county line, or city line, which was, turned out to be fairly close to where I wound up. So now we get down to the courthouse. I'm going to check about getting some paperwork at the courthouse and do a segment there. And then I'm going to decide what to do next.
In 1,000 feet, turn right onto West Robert Street.
I'm going to see what's on West Robert Street, and then I'm going to turn the GPS off, because I don't know. Exactly what is located here, and I've got to look up the courthouse. Somebody driving a pilot car. Pilot car for hire. Pilot cars are for oversized loads on trucks.
Take the next right onto West Robert Street, then you will arrive at your destination.
This GPSs are weird. If you put just the city name, they will find a spot on the map and send it to you. In this case, it's a bridge. So,
you've arrived.
So I basically have arrived at a railroad tracks in an intersection. So at this point, I close this segment out.
5th Street toward West 2nd Street.
Okay, now I have programmed in the directions to the county courthouse. 4 minutes or 1.25 miles from here. So I could have kept going on Main Street and probably found this thing blind, but you know. So let's go up to North Markenthal.
Take the next right onto South Main Street.
Oh, now it told me to go to Main Street. She changed her mind.
In a 1/4 mile, turn right.
Okay, I gotta... Oh, it says a 1/4 mile, turn right.
Take the next right.
CFD, that must be the fire department.
Continue for 3/4 mile.
It looks like this courthouse is a little bit towards the edge of town. It's not downtown like a lot of them are. Huh. Kind of a nice scenic little boulevard here.
In a 1/4 mile, turn right onto Marin Avenue.
Okay, it was at this point where I had a problem with my audio at the courthouse, county courthouse. I went inside, got the fresh arrest warrant. It came outside and had planned on doing a monologue, but the battery on my camera went dead yet again, so the whole thing never got recorded. But at any rate, I was able to ascertain that the warrant is current and it is in effect for the entire state of Minnesota. Now, as I said before, I have breaking information that I had found out about that requires that I go back to Elk River to be there in time for a Thursday morning appointment. And then after that appointment, there is something else I have planned, which should turn out, I hope, to be very interesting. As research I've been doing, I had the information confirmed last night while I was at the hotel, and so now I can act on this information and hopefully come up with a solution to the problem. If not, it was just another adventure. So, I close things up, get in the car, and we're off to Elk River, Minnesota. And we continue on. It's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm on Route 2. I took a slightly different route going back. I decided to take the scenic route. So we're on our way back down to Minneapolis area, to Elk River, Minnesota, to check out a lead. Yeah, looks like we got oversized load being escorted over here on the west side. windmill blade. They have a lot of windmills in this state. And the windmill blades on some of these industrial sized windmills are quite large. Looks like we may have another windmill blade coming up. I'm going to swing the camera a little bit as I see. Yeah, we got, looks like a couple of them coming. Got a bunch of police cars escorting these. There's the pilot car. Yep, just one blade. There's another one right behind it, so we're having a caravan of windmill blades. So somebody somewhere is getting a windmill. Now normally there's three of these things per windmill generator. So that is that. We'll see if any more of these things pop up. And we go through this friendly little town. Ah, another Dairy Queen. Don't see those very often. I think that's just the second one on this trip I've seen. Still a lot of people for Trump up here, and I want to make the Trumpsters happy. Trump will probably make a strong showing in Wisconsin. They're a little spotty on enforcing the mask law that's in this state. They tend to ignore it for the most part, and then you get places that don't ignore it. So you're doing the, oh, I gotta go get my mask walk. Kind of irritating, but you know, law's the law. And I keep forgetting to put the damn thing in my pocket so that when I go to a store, I've got it on me and I don't have to walk back across the parking lot to get my mask. But that's what it is. And as we leave another town, we're on our merry way. Always call for weather on your cell phone. 511. Trident Seafoods. Seafoods and no sea. Boy, they got the picture of Trump with the machine gun in his hand on this one house. These people are loving the man. And we are an hour from St. Cloud, Minnesota.